Peter Capaldi once said I had the best hair in television. Just saying.
Oh, did he?
Mm.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to our new and snappily named format, Doctor Who, the fan show, the after show, ! Each week, straight after Doctor Who premieres in the UK, we'll be discussing the latest episode with people intimately involved with making the show. And yes, before you go any further, that means there will be spoilers in this chat. So, if you've not yet seen the first episode of Series 10, go and watch the pilot, then come back here, because our guests this week are about as big as they come. Over to you, Crystal. Thanks, Crystal. Yes, they are, of course, lead writer and executive producer Steven Moffat and brand new companion Bill Potts, aka Pearl Mackie. Welcome both.
Thanks, Crystal.
Well, let's talk about the episode itself. Pearl, this is a hell of an episode for you, running the full spectrum of emotions, or literally running away from a puddle.
Yeah. You put me through my paces there, didn't you?
Did you relish this challenge as an actor?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. You know, I was just reading the script. I kept telling them, I was like, wow, and then really, and then, oh God, how am I going to fit this all in?
You're in, I think, every scene, aren't you? Because Peter gets time off and then turns up again and explains the plot. But we follow you throughout it.
Yeah, every scene. Yeah. God,
I remember the very first time at the read through, you shouted "Doctor," and I said, "You're going to be saying that a lot."
Yeah,
get used to it.
Yeah.
Well, I was really interested to see that in the stage directions of this first scene, you wrote it was the quietest opening we've ever had, and it certainly translated on screen. Why did you want to open on a moment of quiet?
Because we hadn't before, and because the traditional way to start a Doctor Who, and one I entirely approve of, is to blow some stuff up and have people running away, and I love all that, but I just thought, what's the only surprising thing you could do? And we have that static shot of two doors and a desk for ages, and then in she walks. It's very theatrical, and there's a two-hander scene where you get to know her. I was in part also thinking, let's really establish her. Let's really know her hugely well from the start. And the best way to do that is just have two actors talking. The other thing I've often noticed about Doctor Who is, for all the money we spend and all the explosions we have, what are the bits that end up in YouTube? There will be some wee scene between two people, and you think, maybe those are the good bits. Someday I'll learn how to do this job. Sadly, I'm leaving. So I'll leave saying, I've got it. Oh, finish.
Damn it. Well, Pearl, speaking of that first scene, what was it like working with Peter? Because your chemistry from the word go is absolutely on point.
Oh, it's been incredible. We shot that first scene on the first day. So that was the first thing we shot, apart from the trailer, obviously. Yeah. But we did that in the audition as well. And it was great. We just sort of sat, because I've practiced it with my computer, with this this app called Line Learner, which you record the other voice, and I'd done sort of a bit of a complete.
So you had a simulated Peter Capaldi.
Yeah. Oh well, but it was nothing on him. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Well, you have to.
When you get the real thing, you're like, no, absolutely. No. It's terrible. My Scottish accent is dreadful. He's been coaching me, but it's pretty bad.
I'm sure it's better than mine.
Considering my surname's Mackie, it's quite embarrassing.
It's distressing, frankly.
But yeah, it's brilliant. It was quite a mammoth scene to learn and to film first on the first day, but
nobody blew you up. Come on, that was relaxed.
Exactly, I was sitting down for most of the time, so
very first thing we ever did.
It was restful.
The first thing we ever did to Matt Smith was blow debris into his face.
Oh my God!
And he had to spit it out in the TARDIS console.
Welcome to Doctor Who. Stephen, did you always plan to reuse Friend from the Future, the partially?
I wasn't sure at all. Because I'm such a Doctor Who fan, and I need everything to fit in continuity, and I stay awake at night until I can figure out how to sort out unit dating. That's an obscure one, and I have fixed it. I knew it had to be right at the beginning because of the way she was talking. So, and then we actually did. We edited the whole scene in, and it didn't work. Because suddenly you were being introduced to her again. You already knew she was like that. And the whole point of the scene was not. So we just had the very beginning of it, just a glimpse of it. So you know where it fits. And for die-hard, slightly strange obsessives, and let's be honest, there's 7 or 8 of them in the audience of Doctor Who, like myself, that's where it fits. Yeah. You can all sleep at night now. Stop sucking your thumb. It's fine. Makes sense. It makes sense. Now,
look
unit
forward to
dating,
the,
it's very simple.
I look forward to the extended edition.
It will,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Both of you, I mean, we get a really lovely take on the now iconic first moment in the TARDIS. Pearl, what was that like to play? And Steven, is it tricky to find new ways to do it?
No, it's just lovely to find new ways to do it. I mean, I don't think anyone ever gets tired of people walking into the TARDIS and noticing it's bigger on the inside. And there was a phase I remember maybe in the Davison years where they were too relaxed about it. You're thinking, because you have to do the same scene over and over again. Nobody minds. It's like Bond, James Bond. You want it every time,
exactly.
even though you already know it's coming. So I loved that version. That's one of my favourites with the long pull back.
The pull back
Yeah,
is brilliant.
And
The
it
lights
took
come on.
ages to get it right,
Stay
and
like out
making
the
it
window.
quiet, and then the music comes up, and he just says TARDIS. And
TARDIS.
Peter looks so pleased when he says TARDIS for short.
You know, I love the fact that this could be the first episode for somebody.
Yes.
Could be somebody's first experience with Doctor Who.
Well, that's how we approached it.
Yeah.
We did think, like, we called it the pilot, and we just said it just starts here. You can do the whole format from here,
Yeah.
which is the first time we've really done an episode like that since Rose.
Yeah.
Because even the 11th Hour or Deep Breath, you sort of, it does depend on you knowing he used to be a different actor a few minutes ago, and he's got this time machine. But this one, you learn it all as Bill learns it. And since it's a story, you never get tired of. Telling it again is fine.
Exactly. So prior to Doctor Who, you were in the West End show Curious Incident, which we saw. We went to see you.
Oh, did you?
I think back in May, just before we started filming.
Yeah, okay.
What's the change been like going from something like that to something as big as Doctor Who?
For me, the change in schedule was pretty insane because you come along to Doctor Who, you're like up at 5 a.m. and filming sort of pretty intensely. Especially the first couple of episodes were so like I was in like every day, so I was like, whoa, this is a lot. It's like the first sort of week is it's like 12 hours a day, and you're like, this is a lot more work than I've done in a long time. But yeah, it was great. I mean, I think one of the nice things about doing a sort of a series for me as well was not knowing where the character's going to go, because when you've got a play, you know the whole story. Do you know what I mean? You know the end. You sort of have to fill in the blanks kind of beforehand, but it's really nice. I mean, in your day-to-day life, you don't know what's going to happen to you next week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was really nice to be like, oh, okay, reading episode 2, being like, this is pretty cool.
Well, you were also welcomed into the hearts of fans online
Yeah.
way before you were even seen in a trailer. So much artwork, animations, and stuff like that. I mean, how have you found the fan response so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, even just after the first sort of trailer kind of introducing me was announced, like my phone was like insane, like popping off. It was mad. It was like someone had like cosplayed me within about 2 hours. A guy who I think he's called Dominic.
Cosplay?
It was
Cosplay,
amazing.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
amazing. Some of my friends were like, "What? Look at this!" There's like someone who's like, fully dressed up as you already, and like, all the fan art as well is incredible. It's like being welcomed into a big family. It's amazing.
Yeah. Steven, I guess the question is, why create a character like Bill, and why now? I mean, did you set out to wanting to write an LGBT and or BAME sort of character, or did these things just develop naturally?
They develop naturally, really. You just start, when you're writing a character, you start with the voice. You start with the voice you want to hear. And they start talking. And I was messing around writing those audition scenes, actually.
Yeah.
I was away in a hotel with Mark Gatiss, actually. There's a rumour starting. And I was just writing these scenes, and it was funny how they develop. You start to see the person, you start to imagine what they're like, and it was only there was just one thing that oddly enough, there was a sequence in one of the audition scenes where she talked about this boy, and I couldn't work out why. It wasn't believable to me. I thought, I don't believe that. I don't know why I don't like it. So I changed it to a girl. I thought, all right, there you go. I didn't know that. She's gay.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Pearl, you've spoken before about the importance of BAME role models when you were growing up.
Yeah.
How important is it for you that there are characters like this on TV, especially in something as big as Doctor Who?
I think it's crucial to have that kind of representation in mainstream TV, in shows that are aimed at children as well as at adults. I think it's important for younger children to see someone who is like them, or someone who might be going through, experiencing similar feelings to them on TV, so they can kind of, they see themselves within it, and they can sort of be like, oh, cool, all right, there's other people like me.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility, given that you are, I guess, representing these sorts of minorities as well?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think in a way I'm just here to play one character. Do you know what I mean? My job is to play Bill as truthfully as I can in all situations, and I think that I am representing all ethnic minorities or all people, all gay people in the world I think that's ridiculous, and I don't think I should be expected to do that.
One can understand the pressure for people wanting that, but it's not manageable as a character. Bill herself is not the sort of person who would ever bother representing anybody. She just isn't.
Yeah.
She's saying, what do you mean? I like women.
Just like
so
me. Yeah.
what's that
So
got to do
what?
with
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't. That's too great a burden. But then again, the reason people are wanting that is they don't get enough of it. So they, when it finally arrives, they want it all at once. That's reasonable. It's just not feasible. But I think it's really critical to say we don't expect any kind of a pat in the back for this. It's not.
Exactly.
I mean, one could argue this is the bare minimum and way too long in coming.
I think in terms of representation, it is you have to have individual characters in order to be able to represent, because you can't, if you're sort of assuming that you are able to represent all people, then you're sort of saying that all people of a certain ethnic minority or a certain sexuality are the same. And
Yes,
that's,
exactly.
Yeah, that's something that isn't true.
Having said that, I would now like to represent from now on all straight white men. I think all be like me.
You might have a bit of competition there.
Yeah, no, it's me. From now on, I am taking on that burden. All straight white men.
Stephen, we learned that there's a vault under the university, and it must be protected at all costs. So is it fair to say that this is the season's arc, or is there an arc?
There is an arc, as ever with Doctor Who. It doesn't necessarily take that much space, but what you've got to consider is there's a vault guarded by the least reliable regular hero on television. Right? I mean, that's the thing. He must never leave off from guarding this vault. Every kid in the country is going to go, that's a disaster.
That's a
Why
disaster.
choose him?
Disaster waiting to happen.
It's an OCD man with a time machine. This is not going to work. So we know that's not going to go well, don't we?
Pearl, I mean, I think it's fair to say that one of your most defining features is your incredible natural hair. Did you push for Bill to have your hair? Did you push to keep your hair for Bill?
No, I just went to the audition with my hair in an afro, and you lot really liked it.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's keep it.
It's great.
Let's go for it.
And in that simple way, kids can draw that.
Well, exactly. Yeah. And also, little kids who have afros. And
Yeah.
stuff, they can be like, I saw that
I'm
on
going to
Twitter.
grow my own a bit now, I think.
Yeah,
Great.
I think
Yeah.
I've been waiting
Yeah.
for that, actually, Stephen.
I think that's the message
it's
I'm
a
going to
long time
give
coming.
to straight white men is big hair. Big hair from now on.
Grow your afro.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Straight white men.
Afro up, straight
Do you know
white
what
men.
I mean?
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that Series 10 has some of the best hair we've ever seen in Doctor Who history. So we thought it fitting that we measure hair intensity on the top of the Lox board. And as you are our first guest, we would love you to place hair intensity of our three main characters on our board. And we've got episodes along the bottom, and we've got an intensity scale going from bottom
Y
top
to
there.
I?
So
Is that that's the
so
scale?
it's
Okay. Let me take these.
yeah, Y to I.
Okay, so
Okay.
we've
We've got.
got us three here.
Well, Pearl has to win on hair, doesn't she?
Well, I'm
She's
glad,
got
I'm
more-
glad you said that. Otherwise, it's
You've
gonna
got
be
more
awkward.
hair than you've got head, so that is definitely an increase, isn't it? It's like a spare.
It's
so,
true.
yeah.
I mean, I feel a bit sorry for Matt though.
No, because in fact, Nardole has invisible hair,
Oh,
and
okay,
invisible
okay,
hair
okay.
is much more exciting.
That
I
is-
think,
well, then maybe he should win.
I think maybe, yeah,
Maybe
maybe,
he should- all right,
maybe
I think we should
top
put him
for
up there.
Nardole because
Excellent.
of his invisible hair.
Yeah, invisible,
Yeah.
and I for invisible. So sorted.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
He can see it through those glasses. He's the only person who can
It's
see his hair.
purple.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay.
All
And
right.
then, right, come on.
Well,
I think Peter's hair game's pretty strong in episode 1 as well.
yes,
though.
I mean, he used to have quite small hair as Doctor Who, and now he's got
He's trying to-
enormous hair
he's
as
trying to
Doctor
have
Who.
an
I think the
afro
moment
as
you
well.
showed up and
Yeah.
you said, right.
It's
I think he's
infectious.
trying to compete with
It
you.
is infectious. Afros are infectious.
But I know, I think we have to give this second place to Pearl there. I think we do, surely.
we're going there?
Second
N?
place to only
Yeah.
to Nardole.
Is
his
this wait?
invisible
Hold
hair.
on, they're not in the right place, are they? There.
Are they?
Wait, there. Is that? This is episode 1
Episode
here.
1.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have limited view.
And then go on.
Well, I put a middle just to irritate him.
Just to
Yeah.
okay.
There
Just
we
so
go.
he sees it later.
Yeah, you should
Okay.
say what's wrong with my hair, and it will get yet more elaborate as he attempts to compete on hair.
I think that's good. That's good inspiration. I like
It's
that.
good. Yeah. If we counted his eyebrows, of course, he'd win, but they're not technically hair.
Ah, well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they though?
What?
Are they? Well, they are hair.
Are
Aren't
they?
Well, it's just hair on your
Well,
face.
not his eye. His are Time Lord eyebrows. So
His are
That's spare
magical,
brains.
made of magical Time Lord things.
Well, thank you so much for that, and we will keep an eye on this week after week. And
I'd like a graph to see how I
yes,
do
we're
every
gonna
week, please. That would be,
yes, we
yeah,
are gonna
great.
draw lines in between.
Nice.
Lovely.
Yes, because your hair changes shape sometimes. I'm totally confused. I say,
Sometimes
who's
it
that?
does.
Who's that
Yes,
person?
who's
I
that
don't know
girl?
who that is now. You've changed the clothes and the hair. How am I supposed to know?
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us an insight into episode 1. And now over to Luke in the internet.
Hi Crystal, yes, I'm here in the internet. I really like your studio, nice lava lamp. I made a sign for mine. I'll be here every week showcasing some of the amazing stuff that you guys have posted on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Bebo, wherever, posted in, I don't know. Let's get started by showing off some of the amazing, gorgeous creations that you guys made to welcome new companion, Bill Potts. From this lovely sketch-based approach of the Doctor and Bill's first meeting by Alice Carter, to this launch trailer concept from friend of the show, Creative Cat FX. Oh, aren't they so nice? Meanwhile, Jamie TARDIS has travelled back in time and comped current Doctor Peter Capaldi into some old Doctor Who title sequences. And our favourite one is this one of Peacat replacing John Pertwee in the season 11 titles. Big hair and velvet, it's like Christmas has come early. Although, hopefully not this year, because and Matt Lucas proved how much of a massive Doctor Who fan he is with this video submitted by someone called Pearly Mac. It's Matt listing off all the Doctors, although some of you noticed he did miss out the War Doctor, but I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but you know, the Doctor did intentionally forget about the incarnation, so if anything, Matt proved how much of a massive fan he is by getting it right, so just to clarify. And friend of the show, Jake Dubman and impressionist John Coleshaw made this amazing video as they recreate a scene from Day of the Doctor, and we revisit some old familiar faces. But which ones? Who knows, eh? Well, you will, if you click the video. And a big shout out to our friends at Mix It All who have opened a Doctor Who fan fiction writing community. Why are you still here if that exists? Always wanted to pen that multi-Doctor adventure with weeping angel Daleks on a planet made of jelly? Well, get it out of your head and onto the page, with top tips from Steven Moffat and Neil Gaiman to inspire you, as well as support from a community of fellow fan writers. We'll put a link to all of that in the description below. Good luck, future showrunners, and if you do need another white male Doctor, I'm free. Have you created something that you want us to feature? Well, tweet us at DWTheFanShow or email us, dwthefanshow@bbc.com, or write it on an envelope and throw it out the window and hope for the best. Hopefully the wind is in the right direction and we get it. Back to you in the studio, Crystal, with your nice lava lamp. I'll be colouring in my sign. So. See you next week.
Thanks, Luke, and thank you for watching. We'll be back at the same time next week to talk about Vardis, Valencia, and of course, emojis. Click here to see a preview of next week's episode, Smile, and click here to subscribe to the Doctor Who YouTube channel. Maybe even click the bell for notifications, if you're really keen. You must be quite keen, you're still here after all. And that's the end. Bye!